Welcome to NCIX Tech Tips. Is this enough gaming motherboards for one man or one lady? I would go as far as to say yes. For our first trick, we have the Z77A G43 Gaming as the lowest end board in the range. It has the bare minimum of features to be considered gaming, and that basically amounts to improved networking and improved audio. So it uses Killer's E2200 network chip, which you can see right in there, just like that, which powers that gigabit port on the back. And what that does is it gives you access to Bigfoot Networks' software, as well as their network prioritization technology. Back in the day, when you used to have to spend $100+ on a dedicated card to get this, people kind of looked at it and went, it's a dubious value. Now that it's going to be built into your board, then it starts to look a lot more appealing, I suspect. We've also got Creative Sound Blaster Cinema implementation, which is a software technology that is designed to make things sound better. However, there isn't any dedicated hardware that goes with it, so it'll be up to the individual user how that affects them. It's going to be a matter of whether you like the effects that it provides, not so much that it delivers a clearer sound to noise ratio. Other than that, the advantages of the G45 versus the other ones are the fact that it has PCI slots. If you need PCI slots, you'll have to go with this one. The others are PCI Express only. It has the same red and black color scheme as the other ones. It used to be you had to pay a fortune for a board that looked decent, but fortunately those days are gone. And just like the other boards, it has OC Genie 2, which means that you can easily overclock with just one setting, and it'll just take care of everything for you. Last but not least, it's got two USB 3.0 ports at the back and two USB 3.0 ports connected to the internal header, but these are not at a right angle, which leads us to our next board. For our next trick, we get the one that to me really looks like the killer value in all of this. This is the Z77A G45 Gaming, so it has that same killer value. It has the same creative audio solution. It adds a right angle USB 3 connector. It adds V checkpoints, which you can use to manually monitor voltage. It adds black and red to the VRM heatsinks, and more importantly than any of that, it adds SLI compatibility. It is otherwise a very similar built board in terms of the power phases, in terms of how many DDR3 slots and how many SATA 3 slots and all that kind of stuff, but it's going to be a little bit easier to build in. It's going to look a little nicer, and it's going to give you more flexibility in terms of upgrade options when you are changing your computer around, which gamers are apt to do. Which leaves us with the Cadillac board. This is the Z77A GD65 Gaming from MSI. This is the highest end in their gaming range of boards, and as such it adds a whole whack load of stuff. So now we get a heat pipe between our VRM heatsinks. We get more power phases, which is going to give you more stable voltage delivery to the CPU, so for a little bit more overclocking. We get onboard switches for power reset, and we get a dedicated OC Genie button, which overclocks things for us, so it's a hardware switch now. We get a more elaborate V checkpoint system that's going to be more easily compatible with your multimeter without like getting right in there with the little feed and having a little bit of trouble with that. We still have right angle USB 3. We add an additional two SATA 3 6 gigabit per second ports. We get a multi-BIOS switch, so if you brick the BIOS while you're flashing it to a new one, then you can just boop, flip the switch and your board is resurrected. I have personally used that feature on the Z77A GD65, which is otherwise quite similar to this board, other than the implementation of the Killer NIC networking and Sound Blaster Cinema audio solution. Of course, SLI and Crossfire compatibility, a post-readout debug LED display. We've also got supercharger, which means you can amply charge up your iPad or other tablet or whatever else using this more powered USB 2 header here. And you've got, pretty much everything that you would find on the other boards, except more better. All of this is fine and interesting, but without an actual system to show you guys what an MSI Gaming class motherboard looks like, then we haven't really shown you much, have we? This is the 500IM MILSPEC, which we actually showed off on this channel already, back when it was built, but I want to give you guys a bit of a refresher on it here. So this one right here contains the Z77A G45 Gaming, which, as I said before, is kind of that super sort of best value for the dollar in the gaming line. It also has an MSI Twin Frozer 3 cooled graphics card, and that makes it according to MSI's sort of nomenclature, military class, because both of the MSI components in here have their military class components, which they say will last longer, run cooler, and be more stable, and do all of those good things you expect from your computer. And of course, because of the red and black color scheme and all the good lookingness of it, you can build yourself a system that looks a little something like this without breaking the budget. Thanks for checking out this episode of NCIX Tech Tips on MSI's Gaming Series motherboards. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this from ncix.com.